From Hollywood. Welcome to the Rat's Ass Podcast with Mojo Elliott.
Well, if you're not walking funny today, I am so sorry you had a disastrous Valentine's weekend. But hey, things are looking up. Today is President's Day.
Who gives a rat's ass?
Let's see those pearly whites for the presidents. From the Mojo studio on stolen land at Sunset and Vine, what do you say we take off and go on another action-packed adventure?
Let's do it.
Shall we? Here's what's on tap on the wrap. I'm about to go Gap Band to drop a bomb on you. There was a parade of fools at the Olympics in Germany that I'll tattle on. There could be a new Dem throwing their hat in the ring for president in 2028. I'll let you know who. And guess who wants to leave the United States now? And how much has the white population in the USA declined since 1950? Wait till you hear this one. Yeah, you might say whitey isn't righty. Another round of head traumas on the way. Get ready for another round of Pick Your News. Plus, our usual lunacy and loose behavior, including the angry American and bonk on the head. That's what's happening today on the Rat's Ass Podcast for Monday, February 16th, more than halfway through the month already. But seriously, did you have a good Valentine's weekend? Did you get some nookie? You know, I have a feeling for these things. I have a feeling there was some serious bottom knocking going on from coast to coast.
That's a bingo.
You scallywags. There is still no outcome in the Nancy Guthrie disappearance case. If anything changes, I'll let you know, but that's really all I can tell you about it. Except I just hope she gets home safe and sound real soon. I mean, we should all get to sleep with our own bed bugs, don't you think? Hope she's safe. She's 84. This is ridiculous. Get her home. Last week, Roger D. from Flagstaff, Arizona, read an article on the Rat's Ass Podcast blog about the return of Rock 40. It's a format that was here for a while and disappeared, but it's time to bring it back, I think. And he suggested that we create a category of Rock 40 on Rat's Ass Rock TV. So Fleabag and I skipped our regular Friday afternoon pool game. Yeah, we go and play 8-ball, 9-ball until we get blisters on our fingers. This week we skipped it, so we could do this. So it's on. Go to ratsasspodcast.com and click on the YouTube icon. Go to playlist, and you'll see Rock 40 right there, first thing on the left. Enjoy it. Rock out with your junk out. Radio Wars continues this week. It's me against the top 50 rock stations in America across the country this year as I put my programming chops up against the guys still doing it. Currently, you have voted me 7-0, so my head's swelling. Thank you so much for that. If I go 8-0, 10-0, I might just explode. My competition this week is WSRV in Atlanta. Very good radio station. So go to vote at ratsasspodcast.com. You'll see the A and B categories. One is mine, one is theirs. Tell us which one you like best. Let's see if you can get me to 8-0 or 7-1. It's up to you. All right, let's get into the wrap. I want you to listen to this clip from Hillary Rodham Clinton speaking in Munich, Germany over the weekend. And let's see if you come away with the same reaction I did.
More people were deported under my husband and Barack Obama without killing American citizens and without putting children into detention camps than were in the first Trump term or this first year of Trump's second term.
You hear the timbre in her voice? I'm going to drop this bomb on you. I think the bitch is back. I'll bet my third nut she's going to run for president again in 2028. She'll be 81 years old, but hey, 80's the new 70, right? She's always wanted to be the first woman president of the USA. Whether you like it or not, the field is thin, so I think the old bag is going to take another shot at the prize. I really do. She also admitted that Bill and Barack deported more people than Trump, so that cat's out of the bag. Thank you for that, Hillary. A group of despicable Democrats, including Clinton, Gavin Newsom, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Ruben Gallego, and the governor of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer, all went to Germany to badmouth Trump and to assure the world leaders their gravy train with biscuit wheels will return, should they return to power in 2028. I'm sure they also said behind closed doors, we'll reimburse you for all them American taxpayer dollars you were stripped of when Trump was president, as long as we get our cut. I'm sure that deal was working. ESPN sports personality Stephen A. Smith says if he runs for president in 2028, he'll do it as a Democrat. Now, you and I both know if Smith runs, maybe he has just a little gnat hair of winning this whole thing. But what he will do is nuke a few Democrats on the way with his big old mouth. He's already up Gavin Newsom, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and Zohran Mamdani's ass already. And I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I will. I agree with the shit Smith is shoveling so far. Got to give credit where credit is due. He's right. If any of these three succeed at taking over the Democratic Party, either the Democratic Party is toast or America is. So far, I'm on board with Stephen A. What he's saying. All right, this may or may not be disturbing to you. 20% of Americans say they want to move to a different country. The USA isn't good enough for them anymore. This is led by a group of 15 to 44-year-old women. 40%. Now, I suspect they have pink hair and a bone in their nose, but it's still disturbing that they want to leave the United States. How bad is it for them that they feel this way? 19% of men in this age group also on board with the idea of leaving the United States of America. They think somewhere else is better. A little disturbing to me, but then I realized, here's the cool thing about America. You're free to go.
Get the fuck out!
I read some stats over the weekend that blew my mind about how much the white population in the USA has declined since 1950, and I was taken back by it. Maybe it's because I live in this little bubble here in Los Angeles where it's predominantly, white folks. 1950, 90% of the New York City was white, 30% today. 94% of LA was white back in 1950, 37% today. Detroit, Michigan, 84% of Detroit was white then, only 10% now. Chicago, 86% white in 1950, only 29% now. So why is this happening to big cities across the USA? The reason for this, according to ChatGPT, is starting in the mid to late 60s, a phenomenon called white flight happened. And by 1980, up to 85% of white people had moved to the suburbs. And why did this happen? They went for all the new stuff. Better housing, better schools, race relations, less crime, and improved infrastructure. In other words, the darker the bigger cities got, white people said, get me the hell out of here. So now you've got non-whites moving to the suburbs. So where are white people moving now? The top 5 states are North Carolina, South Carolina, Texas, Tennessee, and Arizona. The states with the biggest white population, based on proportion to population, West Virginia, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Montana. I used to drive through Montana all the time. It's a beautiful state. Lots of room to spread out there in Montana if you want to go. Just gets a little chilly. You can take 12 below zero, can't you? 25 below zero? Sure you can. Overall, California and Texas still have the states with the biggest white population. All right, let's check in with the angry American to see what has him reaching for the Tylenol bottle these days. This is Tim Kramer.
Women. Women are the problem. That's what I've been saying for the last 2 years, that all of this bullshit we're going through is because of the feminization of our nation. Now, I was called a misogynist for that. I'm not a misogynist. I'm not the only one saying it.
If you want to put it in a single sentence, you could say that feminization equals wokeness. Everything you think of as wokeness is simply an epiphenomenon of demographic feminization. Think about all the things that wokeness means. Valuing empathy over rationality, safety over risk, conformity and cohesion over competition and hierarchy.
Ooh, that's got to sting just a little bit. For all you feminists out there, because it's true. That's what our nation's been going through. When I talk about this, it's not because I hate women. I love women. I'm not a misogynist. I'm not part of the patriarchy. I love my wife. I love my granddaughters. I love my daughters-in-law. Do you know what I don't like? I don't like crazy.
Do you want crazy? Here's crazy. Here's Mojo Elliott with his spin on sports on the Wrap.
Can never resist. All right, the NBA All-Star Weekend was a mixed bag of nuts. The Celebrity All-Star Game was sparsely attended. The three-point shootout was won by Portland's Damian Lillard for the third time. The Knicks won the Shooting Stars competition, and Keyshawn Johnson of the Miami Heat won the Slam Dunk contest. Johnson's a bench warmer. He averages 3.1 points per game. There are no stars dunking the ball anymore. That's why not too many people watched. Now, Steph Curry has already committed that he'll participate in the three-point competition next year. Said he'll try to recruit Klay Thompson from Dallas to participate. And Lillard's going to be there. He's won it 3 times. He's one of 3 people to do it 3 times. He'll want the 4th. He'll be back. I'd like to see Luka Doncic in this contest too, though. That would be good. That would be a good one. The USA Stars with MVP Anthony Edwards won the main event. And I did notice this. Our butthurt former President Barack Obama showed up. It's about the only place he can go now where someone will kiss his ring. I also want to turn you on to an outstanding 3-part documentary on the ABA on Amazon Prime called So Power. I think it just debuted on the 15th. You got to see it if you're an NBA fan. I mean, the ABA gave us the slam dunk contest. They did it first in 1976. The NBA adopted it in 1984. If it wasn't for the ABA, you wouldn't have the three-point line. And the idea of run and gun and playing above the rim, that's ABA, man, all the way. I mean, before there was Michael Jordan, there was Dr. J and David Skywalker Thompson. And before them was Connie Hawkins. So if I'm starting to speak French to you, that's a sign that you got to watch it if you're an NBA fan. Texas Tech took down number 1 Arizona on Saturday. You can look for Michigan to probably take over the number 1 spot when the rankings come out later on this week as we get closer to college basketball's Super Bowl, March Madness. All right, let's see what gives on the chat box at ratsasspodcast.com. Brad Cross from Catskills, New York said, what can the NBA do to improve interest in the All-Star Weekend? Man, it's going down here fast. It's going downhill fast. I mean, unless the NBA attracts celebrities that fans know and want to see, I think they should scrap that. The three-point shootout and the skills competition, still pretty good. Slam dunk contest needs to go, at least maybe on hiatus for a while. I'd replace it with one-on-one tournament. We've seen just about every dunk there is since it started back in 1984 and had a lot of TV coverage. I mean, there's nothing new that we haven't seen. And I don't think the talent is there anymore since the NBA is more of a three-point league now. I'd also say let's go back to East versus West. Let's try that for a change. All right, Rusty Adams, Yakima, Washington. I heard you say you weren't into the Winter Olympics due to all the politics, but are you paying attention to USA Hockey? Oh, you bet your sweet ass I am. I watched it on Saturday. They beat Finland. Germany, they took out Germany yesterday on Sunday. So they're 3-0, halfway home to winning the gold. USA, USA, USA. All right, that's my spin on sports today on The Wrap.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, today we're playing a round of Pick Your News. I'm going to give you 4 headlines, and you have to tell me which one is true. Which one is true? Headline 1, President Trump turns down the opportunity to throw out the first pitch on opening day in D.C. Headline 2, a new study shows male erection pills may also provide additional health benefits. Headline 3, CNN and MSNBC discuss a merger to become NGTV for Nancy Guthrie TV. And headline 4, Olympic Village runs out of free condoms and is now renting them with an option to buy. All right, one more time. Headline 1, President Trump turns down the opportunity to throw out the first pitch on opening day in D.C. Headline 2, a new study shows male erection pills may also provide additional health benefits. Headline 3, CNN and MSNBC discuss a merger to become NGTV for Nancy Guthrie TV. And headline 4, Olympic Village runs out of free condoms and is now renting them with an option to buy. Kick it around. I'll have the answer for you coming up in a little bit here on the Rat's Ass Podcast.
It's time for some loose behavior on the Rat's Ass Podcast.
And the question is, what do we do when famous people say and do stupid stuff? Bonk, bonk. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was being interviewed in Munich by a foreign reporter and was asked if the USA should defend Taiwan in the event China invades. And here's what she had to say.
I think that this is such a, I think that this is a...
Alexandria? Maybe this will help you get it out next time. Yeah, take a little bonk on the head. And here's one more. Ask for quitting an aspiring gig as a bartender to take a dead-end job like in politics. Here, how about a third one? There you go. A little bonk on the head for you.
Hey, heads up. Here comes your celebrity cheese.
Oh, that's so much fun. Savannah Guthrie, the daughter of the missing Nancy Guthrie, will be off the Today Show for the foreseeable future due to her mom's disappearance. Now, this has fueled rumors that Savannah, who is 54 now, may call it quits altogether. Now, I thought about this. I go, it wouldn't be a bad time to exit stage right. I mean, she could write a book, make a boatload of money, and retire to anywhere but Tucson. The Simpsons reached another episode milestone last night. 800 episodes for The Simpsons. Yeah, the series will continue for season 38 next year because they're on 37 right now. I still haven't watched an episode. Season 37, I've yet to see an episode of The Simpsons. I'm just not a cartoon guy. I'm really not. I mean, I've heard about the irony of the show's predictions. I know all the characters, but I've never watched The Simpsons, Beavis and Butthead, South Park, Bob's Burgers. I haven't watched any of it. None of it. I really haven't. It's just who I am. I'm not a cartoon guy. Kendall Jenner's ex, Devin Booker of the Phoenix Suns, was in L.A. over the weekend participating in the NBA All-Star festivities. And to stir the pot a little bit with Kendall's new dick, Bad Bunny, Booker made sure the media knew he did not bother to watch the halftime show. And they ate it all up. Oh, they wanted to stir the pot with those three. But here's something I want you to think about, though. If LeBron James, who played in his 22nd All-Star game over the weekend, has never tapped the ass of a Kardashian or a Jenner, is he really the king? If you're a fan of the HGTV series Rehab Addict with Nicole Curtis, you can scratch it off your watch list because they've canceled the show and fired her for making a racial slur 2 years ago, and it finally caught up with her. Yeah, Curtis was fired by people who make racial slurs, but they just haven't been caught yet. And that is a Randy slice of celebrity cheese for you.
Who gives a rat's ass?
Rat's Ass Podcast. Email from our Gmail.
All right, this is where anything goes when you send your questions and comments and observations to my producer, Fleabag at ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. Amber A. from Tupelo, Mississippi. Isn't that the home of Elvis? Wasn't he from Tupelo? I've listened to just about every one of your podcasts. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that, Amber. And she says, I still don't know much about you. Why don't you talk about you and your background more? Well, my feeling, Amber, is who gives a rat's ass? I mean, but okay. Here's the short story. I was born a poor white child, and now I'm not. I had to deal with a lot of government crap growing up, nepotism, and all this just to get ahead in this world. Plus, I was shit on by a lot of minorities along the way to get where I am. So, by the way, please spare me with the white privilege bullshit, too, by the way. Okay? That shit don't fly with me. That's how I grew up. Jesse G., Akron, Ohio. Were you serious about microchipping seniors? Yeah, well, if you like the idea, yeah, I was serious about it. And if you're against it, I still think it's a good idea. Lita F., Greensboro, North Carolina. I got stood up on Valentine's Day by a guy I ran into later at a club at a hotel bar, and he was with another girl. I know he saw me, but he ignored me. Should I ruin his life or just let it go? Well, two things, Lita. I know the temptation is there to ruin this guy's life, but the best way to get back at him is to act like it doesn't bother you and just live well. And second, take pride in knowing that he thought she was easier to get in the sack than you. Okay? Harry K., Portland, Oregon. I read your piece about AI versus radio personalities on your blog and have listened to both AI DJs and radio DJs, and I really can't tell the damn difference. It's almost as if the humans are trying to sound like AI. You know, that's an interesting observation, Harry. Because, believe it or not, I can honestly believe there are programmers out there who are thinking this way, and they're telling their jocks, you know what, hey, try to sound like AI so AI doesn't beat you in the ratings. That could be what's happening, just knowing how these people operate. Grady P., Redondo Beach, California, said, what would you tell America about Gavin Newsom? Jeez, what haven't I told you about Gavin Newsom? I mean, he's just this cross-legged sitting jagoff who has done more damage to California in 7 years than all 39 previous governors combined. And in 319 days from today, his political career is over. Over. And by the way, he was seen hugging his butt buddy, Alex Soros, in Munich over the weekend. So guess who he works for? Guess who he works for? Mary J., Cumberland, Maryland. You and I typically like the same show. So what are you watching these days? I'm out of stuff to stream. Well, I found a lot of decent shows on Apple TV recently. Yeah, I resubscribed just to watch the morning show, and I found a bunch of really good stuff. I watched a movie over the weekend called Sharper. It's really good. It's about a con man who trains women on how to con rich people out of money, and then it has an interesting twist at the end I think you'll like. F1 with Brad Pitt. I missed it in the theaters. I thought that was good. Wolves with Pitt and George Clooney was decent. Let's see. I just started watching Bad Monkey with Vince Vaughn. That's pretty funny. And, of course, on Netflix, you got to see Lincoln Lawyer. Yeah, I wrote about that, too, on the blog at ratsasspodcast.com. Throwing a little plug for that, baby. But, yeah, that's the good stuff to stream right now. Check it out. Let me know how you like any of those shows.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head Trauma.
All right, the game is Pick Your News. I give you 4 headlines, and you have to tell me which one is true. So let's review Headline 1, President Trump turns down the opportunity to throw out the first pitch on opening day in D.C. Headline 2, a new study shows male erection pills may also provide additional health benefits. Headline 3, CNN and MSNBC discuss a merger to become NGTV for Nancy Guthrie TV. And headline 4 was, the Olympic Village runs out of free condoms and is now renting them with an option to buy. All right, did you figure it out? All right, if your guess was, a new study shows male erection pills may provide additional health benefits.
Yeah, baby.
Correctamundo, you got it right. But if you missed it, go see a doctor about your head trauma and get well soon. All right, I got a dart. There's a new massage place where they have 3 ladies specializing on 3 different parts of the body. Sounds pretty exciting, doesn't it? I'll let you know how it feels on Thursday. But first, is this real or riffraff? Would you believe there is a town in Canada called Dildo? Alexa, is this real or is it riffraff?
It's true. Dildo, Newfoundland is on the eastern arm of Trinity Bay.
Okay, how many towns around the world would you say have names after sex toys?
Would you believe 69?
69. No, Alexa, I'm not buying that one. I'm not going to do it. And you know what happens when you pull my middle leg, don't you? You a liar. And your pants is on fire.
I wasn't joking. It really is 69.
Really?
Holy shit.
Well, I guess I was wrong then. But you know what? I will tell you that your grip was magnificent. Welcome to Rat Nation. Jake Hamilton, Kissimmee, Florida. Nathan Brzezinski in Hilton Head, South Carolina. Darla McGrath of Bowling Green, Kentucky. Michael Madden in Jefferson City, Missouri. Derek Willis in Utah. Salt Lake City, Utah, and around the world to listeners in Kilkenny, Ireland, Stockholm, Sweden, Perth, Australia, and the folks in Munich, Germany. And I have a feeling those are the folks listening who are participating from America in the Olympics. What do you think?
Now's your chance to be one of the few and the loud. Join Rat Nation at ratsasspodcast.com. Membership does have its rewards, you know.
All right, that wraps up this episode of the Rat's Ass Podcast. Make sure you check out our hub at ratsasspodcast.com to get into the entire Rat's Ass experience. Listen to previous episodes, read the blog that's loaded with hot topicality, watch Rat's Ass Rock TV, join the mischief at Rat Nation, and catch up with us on the socials. We'll do this again on Thursday, February 19th. Take care of each other. And thanks for dropping by the Rat's Ass Podcast in association with the Oz Podcast Group.
The conversation continues between podcasts on X and ratsasspodcast.com. ratsasspodcast.com.